Welcome back to my channel. I'm Mr. MCP76, bringing you Borderlands 4 here with the September 25th, 2025 update applied. This was an 11 gig update that was released, and it contained many additions and fixes to gameplay itself, game content, but it also contained a couple of items regarding performance updates, so trying to address the low FPS and stuttering issues. So we're going to go ahead and test to see if this update actually helped the game any at all. The GPU we're using is a AMD Sapphire Pulse RX 7900 XTX. We're running on an i7-13700KF with 64 gigabytes of RAM installed. So we're going to test and see what kind of performance we get here based on and compare it against the FPS that we got when we first tested the game about a week ago. So let's see if it actually improved anything. Quickly just reviewing the settings, we're going to go ahead and run this under the badass settings. So basically everything maxed out just to see how the 7900 XTX performs, and that's how we ran the test before. And we're going to go ahead and enable anti-aliasing. This is just using FXAA, so no upscaling in place. Again, upscaling method is disabled, and we're running at full resolution. All right, so we're back in the game here now. And FPS, let's go ahead and reset those counters. Okay, it looks like right now, unfortunately, it doesn't seem like we are getting really, well, to be honest, yeah, just like in my preview of this update when it first launched, the game is not seeing any performance improvements, at least not with the 7900 XTX. I don't know, maybe the GPU you guys have is going to show something different. Maybe an NVIDIA RTX card is going to be better off than this one. But for me right now, this is not showing really any difference whatsoever with FPS at average of 24 FPS, 1% at 21 FPS, and 0.1% lows at 17 FPS. So this is a bit disappointing. We're hoping for maybe a little bit of a help with the update, but I guess we're not going to get it this time around. Let me know in the comments below if you guys see any performance difference with the GPU that, oh boy, with the GPU that you're running. Let's take care of him. Probably should just use the shotgun on that. All right, let's go ahead and make some changes to the settings. Again, this was running right now at just native. As we saw before, we were running just FXAA for anti-aliasing. The game looked great. This is a great looking game and it's fun, but FPS was in the 20s, average of 24 FPS, which just isn't going to work. So let's go ahead and see if we can give the game a little bit of an assistance. Let's go ahead and reduce badass down to very high. We're just going to see what that does. Now that does put us like, let's see, medium for geometric quality, high for texture quality, and then of course some other changes here. Now any of these, as far as your setup goes, you can adjust as needed. But I'm just going to do a quick test to see if even just going to very high improves our performance. It really doesn't. We are now running at very high settings, native 4K again, and we are not seeing, I think we're probably seeing maybe 3 to 4 FPS difference here with an average of 26 FPS right now. The game is still, with such low FPS, it's not feeling as smooth as it should be in the world. Again, game still looks great. Obviously, we're not using any upscaling, so we're just running at native 4K, so it should look great, but it's not doing too much for our frame rate. So let's go back into settings and make that change. We're going to go back up to badass with the settings, and now we're going to go ahead and enable TSR. We're going to run it at full resolution. Let's just make sure frame generation is off. So we'll test the built-in upscaler right now. This is TSR. We're going to use it at full resolution and see how it goes. Well, I do believe that TSR, while probably much better in quality with anti-aliasing, it's also significantly more of a load here on the system. We're now definitely average right now of 24 FPS, 23 FPS. I'm sure it's just going to get even more complex as the game goes on, or the game gets more complex, the FPS will go lower. Yeah, we're down in the 20s now. All right, so TSR, again, a much better anti-aliasing implementation than FXAA, but also harder on the system. All right, let's go to FSR. We're going to use FSR, and we'll run that at full resolution as well real quick just to see. I don't expect it to do much as far as FPS, so let's go ahead and see. Yeah, it is. Yeah, we're looking at FPS again in the 20s, the low 20s, not even high 20s. High 20s would be something, but low 20s. Yeah, this just isn't performing well, and unfortunately this update appears to not have done anything. In my previous testing, FSR at native resolution was giving us similar FPS, if not identical. So let's go ahead and make another change here. Now we're going to keep it at FSR 3.1. We'll also test FSR4 here, but for right now we'll stick with FSR3 real quick and just see if we can get any improvements. We'll go to quality now and see how that does. Okay, now we are at FSR3 with quality performance or quality upscaling. It's it's not as good as just native. When you're moving with this grass especially, you are seeing a lot of issues with the individual grass blades kind of blurring up, artifacting a little bit as you move, but probably not going to be staring at the grass while you're playing here, right? So, any baddies around? I can hear them. All right, so again, now we're running in the mid 30s average right now. In some areas, it looks like 40s. Like right now, we're getting into the 40s, so that's not bad. But we're averaging about 38, and 38 FPS is really right where we saw those numbers when we first tested the game without this update. So again, no change there with the quality FSR. Let's check the next setting here. We'll go to balanced. All right, running in balanced mode, definitely getting a little bit of boost in performance. We're in the mid 40s now instead of low 40s. But again, this is not much different from what we saw before. I think I jumped into combat. Can I get out of here? All right, so right now, again, we're looking at FSR balanced. FSR3 at balanced. Average here looks to be about 44 FPS. All right, so let's go ahead and check the next setting. And we'll take it to performance. So this is going to be now rendering the game at 1080p internally and upscaling it to 4K. So let's take a look and see what we get. Start that counter. Okay, high, just below 50 FPS. Now these numbers, unfortunately, right now really mirror the first couple of videos that I did with this game running with the 7900 XTX. It really isn't much different. I'm not really seeing anything significantly different here, maybe a couple of FPS, But again, when we first tested this game without the update, we were in the 50s as well with FSR performance, and we just couldn't get above 60 or even 260 without the help of frame generation here. So it looks like it's going to be a similar situation, unfortunately. But let's see. Well, this was FSR3, so native resolution. FSR3 did not do us any good. Let's go ahead and see if the update maybe helped with FSR4. So we'll keep it on FSR, and we'll go to full resolution again here. And to get the game to run FSR4, we're going to go ahead and use OptiScaler for that. So we just press Insert to bring up this menu. And we will change this here first at the top. We're going to change it to the FSR that's currently being implemented in the game. All right, so FSR4 now here is being implemented, FSR 4.0.2 to be exact. Let's go ahead and restart the frame counter there, frame time. And we are actually, I'm just going to move on into a different area. But yeah, it's the same. So FSR4 now with no upscaling, just using the native resolution and anti-aliasing from FSR4. Quality is great. Definition in the ground is really good. The environment itself looks fine, but the FPS, oh yeah, I mean this is just like last time. So yeah, guys, unfortunately here it doesn't look like we're going to see much of a change. All right, let's see. Let's put some upscaling to it. FSR4 upscaling. Let's go to quality. Okay, so with FSR4 quality, we are now in the high 30s, getting close to 40, but that's not where we want to be, right? We're trying to hit 60 at least. And it's not happening for FSR4 either. And actually with quality, I do believe it's well, just about identical, honestly. So that's to FSR3 here. So no real change. The FSR3 implementation in this game wasn't really that bad to begin with either. So, but I do believe with FSR4 we can push it harder and still get a really good upscaling. But at quality, I do believe they were just about identical. All right, so we're going to go ahead and take FSR4 to balance now. Let's see. Low 40s with balanced. Again, same as before. Moving around the world. Just trying to engage to kind of see with the AI or the NPCs fighting back. Are we going to see any dip in the performance? I don't think I'm hitting him through that tree. Okay, anyway, so right now we are, again, not seeing any kind of performance improvement with the update. Let's try. The last one we'll test here is performance, FSR4 performance. Now we are running at 1080p internal resolution again and upscaling it to 4K. And unfortunately, again, with our frame times, just like with FSR3, we are in the 50s. Which that in and of itself, with the FSR4, from what I understand, FSR4 is a harder implementation of upscaling to run, and so usually you would see lower FPS with FSR4 but better image quality. But again, the image quality with FSR3 was already pretty good, so I don't think the overhead is worth it if you don't have the hardware to run it. All right, yep, so I think we can pretty much call it now. Um, we've tested native, we've tested FSR3, and we've tested FSR4 through OptiScaler, and we are not seeing a difference in performance, guys. Sad to say. Hopefully, 2K Games' next update or future updates will address this. It is a shame that with a flagship GPU like the 7900 XTX, we can't hit 60 FPS, even on badass with a 4K monitor. I would think that the graphics in this game should be easy enough to at least get us to 60 FPS, at least 60 FPS, right? Um, I, I don't think I would complain if we sat at 60. I don't need 120. We can use upscaling to get us there for sure. Again, with this 4K monitor, that's probably what we would want to do, or what we would have to do no matter what. But the fact that it can't even get us to 60 FPS is quite a shame. I do like this game though, so I'm going to keep playing it. I've been playing it and trying to keep myself in this area for right now just because for testing. But again, the game is fun, so hopefully the future updates will address some of these quirks and issues with the game and give us a better performance. But what do you guys think? Have you guys tested the game with your setup? What are you running and what are you seeing? Has the update helped any? Maybe it's just AMD cards that aren't seeing the performance boost, or maybe there's issues elsewhere. But let us know. Let me know. Feel free to comment below and like and subscribe if you like these videos, and we'll return more for other games and further follow-ups with this game as they become available. Thanks again for joining. This is Mr. MCP 76 signing out.